Where Caleb and the Bears will attempt to break their dubious streak of 23 straight drives without a touchdown. Here's Caleb during his 3-game losing streak, only 9 points. It's third worst by any team in a 3-game span this year. So for Caleb and his new OC, Nick, must win.
Oh, I don't think it's a must win, but I think it's offense must show life. Like I said this, I think the Bears, if the Bears had a better record, if they were 6-3, if they had the Hail Mary hadn't happened and then pick a different game that, could have gone the other way, then it's all about, can we find a way to make the playoffs? I think in the NFC right now, that door is basically closed. I think there are 6 teams with 6+ wins in the NFC, if I have that right. I think I do. And then there's going to be a division winner that doesn't, in the NFC West. So I don't see how I don't think that's realistic for him. So I think what matters is the offense looks good. So I think if they lose, but they lose 28-24, and Caleb looks like he did a month ago, that's better than if they win the way they won in Week 1 against Tennessee.
That's true.
When the offense looks terrible and the defense bails them out. So no, I don't think it's a must-win.
Yeah, I don't see this as a must-win. I see this as a must-win the locker room. And as Nick's found, it's really hard to get guys supporting him.
It's not hard at all. You want me to read you the
guys
quotes?
supporting him. So Caleb has
It's important we be accurate.
Well done.
I mean, if DJ Moore and Cole Kmet both came out today on the record and supported him, then it's important we not say no one's supporting.
15 seconds ago, after they watched the show, I don't think that.
I don't know that's what happened.
Well, you don't know it's not what happened.
Okay.
So here's what I think is he has every excuse in the book to ball up right now and fold. The coordinators change, the head coach problem, all those different things. He's got to show that he's going to do everything he can possibly do to continue to improve. And a lot of that starts in the meeting rooms, it starts at practice, it starts in all those places that guys are going to look at and see how he responds.
Yeah, it's a must-win. And Nick's gone from raising expectations sky high, Super Bowl, to burying expectations. They're still alive. If they go 5-5, they are in the playoff hunt, and they will be heading into their division play. Like, now all of a sudden, a lot of this a lot of this noise ceases. If Caleb Williams wins this game against Green Bay, a team we all think is better, then now all of a sudden, everything calms down. We overreacted. The veterans are already coming out saying they like him and support him. It will go from the sky is falling to we got the best rookie in the draft.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I think they're all bringing up great points, honestly. So it all depends on what you think of this season and what you think of this team in terms of, is this a must-win? If you think that they can right this ship and that this rough patch for Caleb and the Bears as a whole is just that, a blip, and an outlier, then yeah, this is a must-win because they can compete for the playoffs. They can get things back on track. Let's go. But if you think, you know what, no, this has been a disaster. Shane Waldron was terrible. They had to let him go, this, that. Then it's like, well, what, must win? Like, he's getting a new coach. But getting a new coordinator at this point is essentially like getting a new head coach if you have a defensive head coach. So now it's just going to be completely different. You're asking a rookie to be able to just step up and thrive in this circumstance. Nobody can. It's hard for established veterans to succeed in that environment. And now we're going to expect Caleb Williams to. So no, there's definitely no must win from that perspective. If we think this is a Caleb problem and actually the coaching isn't a huge problem, and yeah, they fired a coach because they felt they had to do something, but this is a Caleb problem, well then yeah, then kind of like every game from this point out is like, you better start to kind of show some competence here. You better show that you are better and worthy of continuing to start. The pressure really starts to build, but it feels like more people are blaming coaching than they are Caleb, which is totally fine. That's totally fair. And if that's the case, if that is the general conclusion about this season, that it's not Caleb, that it is a coaching issue, well then no game from here on out is a must win for Caleb. If anything, we just need to give him the grace to be like, yeah, you were put in a bad situation. The Bears dropped the ball. Coaching was a disaster. This season we're punting away. That's what it is. But I do agree also with what Brew is saying from this standpoint, where if they win, let's say they win this game, even if it's not like Caleb is playing extraordinary, but they win this game, then it is this feeling. It's very similar to what happened with the Eagles, where the Eagles win in the beginning of the season, and then they have a couple rough losses, and the sky was absolutely falling. It was absolutely falling after the Bucks and the Falcons game. And this is a disaster. Sirianni needs to be fired. Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. The defense is a mess, just like it was last year. This is a mess. This is a disgrace. Oh my God, clean house, let's go. And now they're on a 5-game win streak, and it's like Nick Sirianni's doing unbelievable. Jalen Hurts is in the MVP conversation. Like, everything has changed. Can the Eagles win the Super Bowl are the conversations? Right before, it was like the Eagles can't even win the division, and now it's like, hey, they're a Super Bowl contender. That's how fast things can change. And you beat a team like the Packers, and you beat them, I don't even have to say convincingly, but it just shows it wasn't like a fluky game. Like, it wasn't just one of those bizarre games where you're like, I don't even know what the heck that was. How did the Bears come away with the win? Kind of similar to, honestly, what happened with the Titans game week 1, which we forgive. It's a week 1 game. You don't really get to have those week 1 games now in week 10, 11, 12, 13, etc. But if it's a game where you like clearly see the competence of the Bears and you come away with that and you say, Caleb looked so comfortable, he was so decisive, he was strategic, he seemed so much more in rhythm, right? If you come away with that, feeling that way, well then yeah, then absolutely. Now, if they lose this game, it puts them obviously further back, which now makes it harder for them. Even if he does look great and more comfortable and all that type of stuff, then it does really become very, very, very difficult to make the playoffs. But it's still possible. So again, I think this season, the expectation should have never been Super Bowl or bust, quite frankly. That was always absurd and insane. And I think, again, it all depends on what your expectations are for this season. And I don't even mean now going into this season. What are your expectations this season? You know, you have to update your expectations. So if you were one of those people that said, hey, they can make it to the Super Bowl, well, what are your expectations now? If you were one of those people that said, hey, you know what? I just want to see Caleb improve and get better and make us feel that we actually made the right decision in drafting Caleb, well, then again, this isn't a must win. This is just a must improve and get better. Or if you really want to take the long path, it's just saying, well, you know what? I wish I could see Caleb get better each week. I don't think he's being supported enough from a coaching standpoint, an O-line standpoint. Again, wherever we want to blame, let's just wait and see. I just want to make sure that he kind of stays upright, continues maybe to try to improve his comfortability. And but with that being said, we just got to wait until next season. I think that's also a total fair view as well. So I think it's kind of, honestly, I think it's kind of absurd to even, and again, I get it because it's just a conversation and it's fun to have conversations, but like to even ask the question, is this a must win for Caleb? I think is already not fair. Why is this not a must win for Jaden Daniels versus the Philadelphia Eagles? Like, they have playoff implications. They have expectations now. So I think we're just, even with a question like this, you're continuing to put unnecessary pressure on Caleb. But I get it. He was a first-round pick. Chicago Bears had high expectations. And also for the sake of just interesting conversations, we can still debate it. Even if it's no, the answer is that it's not must win. Still a fun question to ask nonetheless. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? Do you think it's a must-win for Caleb or the Bears for that matter? And if not, what do you guys think is? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.